Literally, guess who's back again with the blue ass Smurf videos? I am back. And I've actually worked out what it is that is causing this kind of blueness. It's not that my camera's fucked up. Well, it is, but it's not that my camera's fucked up. When I use my softbox, which by the way I've actually got working again, which is hella pain. And when I say I've got it working again, I mean that I found my other one that was at Bernie's. When it's projected against a white wall, for some reason it makes the footage blue. I don't know why. I don't know if it like bounces back and does something with the camera. Like, I've tried to change white bounces, I've tried to do like all sorts, doesn't make a difference. So we're just gonna roll with it because I fancy filming with a white background. Now I've got a softbox again. In today's video we're going to be talking rather chillingly about unsolved murder mysteries. I just want to put a disclaimer out there before I get started that these videos, in no way am I doing them for entertainment purposes. Like, that'd be fucked up. I'm doing them because I genuinely find these sorts of things interesting. Don't get why, because I hate horror, I hate thrillers, I hate anything spooky. Like, I've never watched a horror film in my fucking life. But as soon as it's in like text and I like read it out, I'm like, holy fuck, like I find them so interesting. Honestly, check my search history. No wonder I filmed so many like conspiracy theories and stuff. Like, I genuinely find them so interesting. But yeah, with that being said, let's get on with the video. The first murder mystery is of a guy called Mario Amado. Mario Amado was thought to be taking a leisurely vacation to Rosarito Beach, Mexico with his brothers and his girlfriend. But their beach holiday took a turn for the worse. Arrested for fighting with his girlfriend, Mario was taken to prison where he was found hanging in his jail cell 2 hours after the arrest. The police officers were thought to have beaten Mario to death and tried to cover it. After a second autopsy, evidence emerged that proved death was by trauma. One officer was arrested and sentenced to 8.5 years in prison, only 4 months of which he served. His sentence was soon overturned and the murder mystery remains unsolved. Yikes. Like, imagine that you go on like a family holiday, obviously like you shouldn't be at your girlfriend, like that's fucking disgusting, but you're killed. Like, the girlfriend must literally think it's like her fault, which is so fucked up. I've heard this name before with the next one, which kind of gives me goosebumps. This is of a guy called Jamie Santos, I'm not sure. The emergency line in Illinois received a strange call on October 28th, 1991. An unknown man called the emergency number, giving the address of an unconscious woman. Before the operator could get more information, he hung up the phone. Paramedics arrived on the scene to find exotic dancer Jamie Santos nearly dead in her home. Jamie appeared to have struggled with her killer and ultimately died from asphyxiation by pillow. The previous day, Jamie cancelled various appointments, leading police to wonder whether she had expected something odd to happen. Police believe a former customer may have killed Jamie, but with almost no evidence, the case was never progressed. I couldn't imagine anything worse than like knowing, like, I don't know, like imagine just knowing someone's after you. That I can't deal with that. Third one is of a guy called Dick Hanson. Dick Hanson and his friend Jean were hanging out together before chatting in his car at the end of the night. A car pulled up and parked behind them on a street where only their 2 cars remained. As they left, Jean followed Dick as she wasn't familiar with the area, soon getting the idea that they were being followed by the other car. Darting across a highway and trying desperately to lose their stalker, Jean and Dick exited their highway and parked their cars, behind which the car rolled up and parked behind them. Dick went to confront the man who mortally wounded him. Jean ran back to help Dick and barely caught a glimpse of the shooter as the car sped away. To this day, the murder has not been solved. Jean thinks, due to the man's football-like build and her license plate reading 49R Hugs, the killer may have been a fanatic of a rival team, though the ball still hasn't been caught on Dick's killer. Imagine killing someone based on their football team. That's fucked up. What have they ever done to you just because they support something else? It's narrow-minded things like that that annoy me. Like this one isn't even like scary, it's just sad that people like that. The fourth one is a Pennsylvania student named Jack Davis Jr. Indiana University of Pennsylvania student Jack Davis Jr. was found dead in a campus stairwell in October 1987. Police initially ruled the cause of death as choking, claiming he died by passing out, vomiting, and swallowing the vomit which he then choked on. A pathologist was called in by the family some years later who found no food in his lungs and found his skull fractured in 3 places. These discoveries led to the opening of the case again, but it was soon closed after further information was not found. Some believe Jack was in a fight that night and, after his attackers found he wasn't getting better, dumped his body in the stairwell once he died. That so far is the most fucked up one that I've read. So on one hand the police lie. Why would they lie? Like, so they say that he's choked on his own vomit, but then a pathologist says that there's no food in his lungs. Like, obviously is years later, but like, you can't just clear your lungs of food, like, you're dead. The fifth and final one I'm going to read out is of a man named Blair Adams. Blair Adams was a young Canadian construction worker who feared someone was after him. After a string of erratic behaviours, withdrawing all money from his savings account, trying to get across the American border, he was denied as he had a large sum of money, the sign of a drug trafficker. Buying a round-trip ticket to Germany, which he soon returned, Blair managed to cross the border to Seattle in a rental car. He flew one way to Washington DC and drove to Kentucky. In Knoxville, he told a gas station attendant that his car wouldn't start, and the attendant told him he had the wrong keys. Hitchhiking to a nearby hotel, Blair checked in and later left his hotel. His body was found 12 hours later, naked from the waist down and surrounded in Canadian and American dollars and German marks in the parking lot. That's deranged. So he withdrew all his money, went to Germany, crossed borders, so he had all of those different types of money. So obviously the stalker had like followed him to all these places if he was surrounded in that, because you wouldn't keep hold of your German marks if you were in Kentucky. Like, that is, oh my god, you literally can't see. I don't know how to prove this to you. I've genuinely got goosebumps from that one. Like, the others haven't made like the hairs on my things stand up too much. That one's fucked up. Right, so that's all I'm going to read out for this video. There are so many more which I'll probably do in a future video, but if you enjoyed, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below any video suggestions, and just comment anything, and hit the subscribe button because it means a lot, and also make sure to click the bell because you can get notified. But at this point, is there really much point being notified? Like, I'm a small YouTuber. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.